Welcome to Module 4. In this lesson, we're going to get comfortable working in Microsoft Word, the program most employers expect you to know. We'll start by opening a brand new document. When you first open Word, you'll see this start screen with a row of templates across the top. To begin with a clean page, click Blank Document on the far left. Now we're inside Word with an empty page in front of us. Across the top, you'll see a row of tabs, and the first one we'll look at is Home. This is where you'll spend most of your time because it has all the basic tools for typing and formatting. Let's click Home so we know exactly where it lives. Take a moment to look at what's here. You've got buttons for changing the font, making text bold, italic, or underlined, and tools for lists and alignment. We'll come back and use these in just a bit. Next to Home is the Insert tab. This is where you go when you want to add something to your document that isn't typed text, like a picture, a table, or a page break. Let's click Insert. Take a look at the options that appear. You'll see pictures, shapes, tables, header, footer, and more. We'll use a couple of these later in the module. Here's the full Insert ribbon laid out so you can see everything that's available. Here's the full Insert ribbon laid out so you can see everything that's available. Here's the full Insert ribbon laid out so you can see everything that's available. Here's the full Insert ribbon laid out so you can see everything that's available. Now let's move over to the Layout tab. Layout is where you control how your page is set up, things like margins, orientation, and spacing. Click Layout. Here's the Layout ribbon in full view. Notice the buttons for margins, orientation, and size. If you ever need to switch from portrait to landscape, or change how much white space is around your text, this is where you'll come. The last tab we'll tour up front is Review. This is where you check your spelling, track changes, and work with comments. Click Review. Here's the full Review ribbon. You can see spelling and grammar on the far left, along with tools for comments and tracking edits. We'll use these toward the end of the module. Here's the full Review ribbon. You can see spelling and grammar on the far left, along with tools for comments and tracking edits. We'll use these toward the end of the module. Now let's actually put some words on the page. Click into the document and type My First Document at the top, then press Enter. Don't worry about how it looks yet. We're going to format it next. Let's make our title stand out. First, highlight the words My First Document by clicking and dragging across them. Then click B in the Home tab to make the text bold. Now let's center that title on the page. With My First Document still highlighted, click the Center button in the Home tab. It looks like a few lines stacked in the middle. And just like that, your title moves to the center of the page. Let's make the title bigger so it really looks like a title. Highlight My First Document again, then click into the font size box at the top. Scroll down the list and choose 16. Your title is now larger and easier to read. You can also change the style of the letters themselves. Click the Font Name box right next to the Size box and scroll through the drop-down menu of fonts. For this practice, let's pick Arial. Arial is a clean, professional font that works well for resumes and business documents. Now let's add a section to our document. Click below your title and type Work Experience. To make this look like a real section heading, highlight Work Experience and click Heading in the Styles area of the Home tab. Notice how the text changes color and size automatically. Word does the formatting for you. Let's add a smaller heading underneath. Press Enter, type Customer Experience, highlight it, and this time click Heading 2. Heading 2 is a step down from Heading, which is perfect for the parts inside a section. Underneath Customer Experience, let's list the kinds of tasks you might do at a job. Press Enter to start a new line. Then click the Bullets button in the Home tab. It looks like 3 small dots next to 3 lines. Now you'll see a bullet point waiting for you to type. Go ahead and add a few items. Type answered phones, press Enter, type greeted customers, press Enter, and type processed returns. Each one gets its own bullet. Numbered lists work the same way, and they're great for steps in order. Press Enter to start a new line, then click the numbering button right next to bullets. Type Open the register, press Enter. Type Count the drawer, press Enter, and type Log the total. Now you've got both kinds of lists in the same document. If your text feels too crowded, you can give it more breathing room. Highlight your text, click the line and paragraph spacing button in the Home tab, and choose 1.5 from the menu. See how the lines spread out a little? This is the spacing most resumes and reports use, and it makes everything easier to read. Now let's add a picture to our document. Click the Insert tab at the top. In the Insert ribbon, click Pictures. A small menu drops down. Click this device, which means you're choosing a picture saved on your own computer. A file window opens up so you can find your picture. Click the image you want, then click Insert. Your picture appears right inside the document. You can click and drag the corners to make it bigger or smaller, and you can move it around the page. Tables are another handy tool, and they're great for things like skills lists or schedules. Click the Insert tab again. Then click Table. A grid of little squares appears. Hover over the grid and click to choose how many rows and columns you want. For this practice, we'll make a small 2-column, 3-row table. Your table appears in the document. Click into the first cell and type Skill, then click into the cell next to it and type Level. You can keep filling in the rows with whatever you'd like to practice. Now let's talk about saving. Sometimes you'll want to send your document as a PDF so it looks the same on every computer. Go to File, click Save As, and when the file type drop-down appears, scroll down and pick PDF. That gives you a polished version you can email or upload to a job application like NC Works. Before you send anything important, you'll want to check it for mistakes. Click the Review tab at the top. Then click Spelling and Grammar on the far left. The editor pane opens on the right side of your screen. It shows you your spelling and grammar score, along with anything Word thinks you should fix. You can click through each suggestion and decide whether to accept it or ignore it. Track Changes is a tool that records every edit you make, which is useful when you're working on a document with someone else. Click Track Changes in the Review tab to turn it on. Now try making a small edit. For example, change Log the total to Log the total amount of cash. Notice how Word shows your change in a different color, so anyone reviewing the document can see exactly what you added. When you're ready to keep an edit, click the arrow under Accept and choose Accept and move to Next. This locks in the change and moves you to the next one. If you change your mind about an edit, you can click the arrow under Reject instead. That removes the change and puts the text back the way it was. To print your document, go to File in the upper left, then click Print. From here you can pick your printer, choose how many copies you want, and see a preview of how the page will look on paper. And finally, the most important step of all, saving your file. Click File, then Save As, give your document a name, and choose where you want it stored on your computer. Get in the habit of saving early and often so you never lose your work. And that's a full tour of Microsoft Word. You now know how to start a new document, format your text, build lists, add pictures and tables, check your spelling, track edits, print, and save. These are the same skills employers all over the Piedmont Triad expect on the job, so spend some time playing around in Word until it feels familiar. In the next module, we'll move on to Google Drive, where you'll learn how to store and share your files online. Take care, and we'll see you there.